If there is any unresolved issue in your life, or if you've already done the journey, if you know what the journey is and does, and you know somebody who could do with the help of doing this work, either for health reasons, for relationship reasons, for anxiety, for depression, whatever the issue is, please let them know. I'm not saying that everyone has the same issues, but if there is any conflict inside of you, if that gets resolved, then we are one tiny little step closer, a greater peace or a better world. I really do believe that what we're seeing outside on the big stage is a kind of reflection of what's going on in the collective. So the conflict that we're seeing, the war consciousness of people fighting each other, killing each other, and we don't acknowledge it. We don't speak about it. We don't let it up. We don't let it out. I met with a friend here and we were just hanging out. We were just having lunch. And out of nowhere, these constant conversation kept going on, what's wrong in the world? And I could really sense and feel the anger building in this person. I didn't quite know how to respond. So I just encouraged him to say more and let it out and let him speak about it. And yet, when I was at home, I reflected on this entire meeting and conversation. And then I thought, I do know some of the private issues that are going on in that family. And there is conflict. There is a divorce happening that is very unpeaceful, if you want to call it that. One doesn't speak to the other. The children are being turned against one parent. And that's just one family, but there is 4 people in one family, each one carrying a conflict issue. There is conflict in my own family. I can't do anything about it. I can only just make it available. I can only just say, listen, please, why don't you come and join an event, or why don't you let me do a process with you? There is just unresolved conflicts in so many places wherever I look. There is illness, there is fatigue issues, there is chronic fatigue, an issue where it feels like we carry a lid over our being. We just can't express, or we feel we're not allowed to express what's really going on. We are scared to say that we're scared. We're scared to say that we are raging, furious, angry. And yet, if there was one way into freedom, if there was one way into healing conflict, it is being real. It is being real and meeting those issues. And actually, the one thing that Brandon teaches so practically, so beautifully, and is something that you can repeat over. I've been doing this work for 25 years. I came to the journey in 1996, and when I first came, I so fell in love with this work that I walked away from the workshop a different human being. And I just said to my friends, this needs to be shouted from the rooftops. I'm still here 25 years later, and I don't know how else to shout other than say, take those tools. I have friends inside the journey who have done this work. And sometimes we speak, and a friend of mine in Australia, I had a conversation with recently, and she said, I believe I'm not sure if I would still be here if I hadn't done this work. I don't know if I'd still be here if I hadn't done this work. I was in pretty bad shape at the time when I came to the journey, and I didn't even think something was wrong with me. That's how silly these things are. We don't recognize it until we really dive in, until we really dive in deeply and find out for ourselves where the truth lies.